All right. Um, yeah, the most disturbing interrogation you'll ever see. Full stop. Seriously. Just if he's saying seriously, it's gotta be pretty disturbing. But yeah, let's go.
The video you're about to watch contains especially unsettling interrogation footage discussing true life events, actions, and crimes that may profoundly shock and deeply unnerve even the most seasoned and hardened viewer. This is the first time that a warning has been deemed necessary for a video on this channel. Proceed with caution and with morbid curiosity.
That's what we hear. Morbid curiosity.
Corpus Christi, Texas is a wonderful, vibrant coastal city with a small town feel, but a metropolitan amount of importance. The consistent ocean breeze mixed with the almost expected sunny days make Corpus Christi unforgettably charming. But Corpus Christi can also be subjected to torrential downpours and hurricanes. Just as quickly as those clear skies turn into frightening, unrelenting storms, that Corpus Christi charm can fade away for a moment, revealing real-life nightmare fuel and monsters only disguised as humans. This is Kevin Davis, and between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. on March 26, 2014, his life, as well as everyone's around him, would change forever, while his mother, Kimberly Hill, would lose hers. To start the nearly never-ending surprising facts around this case, Kevin had a strong desire to end his own existence on Earth. Taking his own life by his own hands isn't the shocking part. It's that he asked his mother for permission to do it. As expected, she expressed that she absolutely did not want him to do that, but there was nothing that she could do to stop him if he chose to do so. This odd but seemingly innocuous exchange would spark a chain of completely depraved and unhinged actions by Kevin, unleashing 18 years of almost completely repressed, twisted fantasies at once. What started as a conversation about taking his own life, hours later, would end up with Kevin taking a hammer to his mother's head until her brain was completely exposed, and then using his bare hands to finish destroying her brain. As nauseatingly distressing as that fact is, it's important to mention that there's more. Just after finishing removing his mother's brain from her head, he would begin dragging her body into her bedroom. Kevin would lose his virginity that night in that bedroom. Roughly 12 hours later, Kevin would be in police custody, giving a full confession as well as the rest of the horrific details, of which there are still many to cover.
Jesus. Jesus. At the first hurdle of one smashing your mum's head in with a hammer, that's really naughty. Really naughty. Then using your hands to mangle her brain, but then taking her in the bedroom and losing his virginity to his dead mum. This is gonna be savage. This is gonna be savage.
This is the interrogation of Kevin Davis. The first 4 minutes and 14 seconds of the interrogation footage is Kevin waiting for detectives to enter the room, having his Miranda rights read to him, and providing his signatures and initials to officially and legally agree to speak to detectives. This is just standard practice, so while we fast forward through this part, allow me to introduce you to Morbid Curiosity's first sponsor ever, HelloFresh. Look, I get it, eating healthy can be hard nowadays. Slow and wrong again. Go comes in a box Link in the description.
Basically, to commit suicide.
Saving money, I'm getting the nutrients I need, I feel better not only physically but mentally too. And all I did, the
Mentally?
only change that I made, was literally signing up
Minty.
for a HelloFresh meal plan. Check this out. HelloFresh is hooking Morbid Curiosity viewers up with free meals and gifts. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code Curiosity16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Huge thank you to HelloFresh for not only sponsoring Morbid Curiosity, but for also helping me reclaim myself. And I couldn't be more grateful for everything they've done for my life and for this channel. So if you're ready to take your diet back in your hands, go to HelloFresh.com and use code Curiosity16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Link in the description below. And with that said, let's return to the interrogation of Kevin Davis.
Like saying earlier, you've talked to some people, you want to get some stuff off your chest. We're here to listen to you.
Why are you here? What happened?
Tell us what happened.
Well, has anybody gone to the house yet? Do you really?
We know what happened.
We have, but we want to hear it from you.
Or we have an idea. You don't want to look at this. Start at the beginning, man. What caused all this?
Well, the very beginning, I asked my mother for permission to die, or rather kind of commit suicide.
I wish she said
sort
yes
of
now.
beating around the bush sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, that doesn't really matter why I wanted to kill myself.
Sure it does. Tell us.
I'm bored with life. I don't like life. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like people. I don't like living it, basically. There's really anything depressing about it. It just is what it is. And so I wrote the note. I did.
When did you write the note?
Around 6-ish, 7-ish?
Today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
That's in the afternoon or morning?
Afternoon.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then,
She get upset with you?
well, no, actually. I mulled it over. And then, on a whim, actually, I turned it over, wrote a plan to kill both my mother and my sister, quite frankly, because that's always been a thing of mine. I'm a bit of a pervert.
Yeah. Is it like a fantasy thing?
It is, actually. So, that didn't happen. The best laid plans never work out, apparently, or at least the one scribbled on a piece of paper, because she had decided she was sick of this stuff, and she was going to go send me to live with my sister again. And so I kind of leapt off in a fury and just did it right then and there.
Okay. You did what?
Well, I tried to strangle her with a cord, a ripped cord from a video game console controller. That didn't work.
Typical.
Where was this at? You thought it was strangled?
She was sitting on the couch watching TV.
Okay.
That didn't work out too well. She started screaming, and so I went to her room, opened a drawer at the very bottom to the right. I pulled out a hammer. I went back in the living room, and, well, you kind of get the gist from there. And,
No, say it.
She was out pretty quickly. Kind of tried to play dead at first, but then I finished it.
So you hit her with a hammer when she was sitting in the sofa in the living room?
No, first I tried to strangle her, and that didn't work.
Right.
She grabbed the cord, so I raced back into her room, grabbed the hammer, came back out, and then did it.
Okay. How many times did you hit with a hammer in the living room?
At least 20, but then she was still alive. I dragged her into the room, as you probably clearly saw, and then I kind of wormed my hands into her brains to kind of just cut it. She was still snoring.
Okay. So she was still alive?
She was still alive.
And you went in there and you kind of grabbed those brains?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Alright. Did you use a knife on her?
Actually, I was going to, but no, I didn't get to do that.
I guess you never got to stab her with a knife?
No.
It was all with a hammer?
It was all with the hammer in my hand.
Where did you hit her with a hammer?
The head.
All in the head area?
All in the head, I believe. I may have gotten her hand because she was covering herself.
Okay.
Is this in the front or the back of the head?
Top, back, mainly. No, actually the entrance wound is around yonder somewhere here.
Okay.
And then, so when you dragged her to the living room, to the bedroom, you kept on hitting her there?
Yeah, I kind of went.
That's where that's when you reached in and grabbed the brain?
Yeah, I kicked at it a bit. Then I just, that was kind of silly, but then yeah, I just decided to reach in and kind of just do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is mad. Already up to this point. Think of that. Why didn't his mum run? She sat there screaming. She must have caught it before he got a chance to wrap it round. Jesus. Jesus, this is insane. This is disturbing, for real, no.
And then what did you do after that?
Then I had sex with her corpse.
You did? Okay. Did you come inside her?
I did, actually.
Have you ever done that before, like had sex with her?
No, I haven't, actually.
This is just the first time?
Oh yeah, I lost my virginity to a corpse.
Okay. Did you change in the bathroom? Did you?
I did. I took a bath before then. My penis really, well, that's a little personal, but yeah, I needed to clean it off, and so, and then I changed, yeah.
Okay. How about your sister? What's your sister's name?
Desiree Hill.
Is she okay?
She is okay, yeah.
Okay.
Where does she live?
At an apartment actually very near here. That big kind of Hispanic thing, like Spanish-looking building.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old apartment complex with a code.
Was it a fantasy of yours to kill her as well?
It was.
Did you write down that on your note?
Oh, I did, actually, but I decided against it because, well, I'd had my fill of killing. I didn't. Seemed a little much.
Mm-hmm.
A little too excessive, yeah.
So after you...
Yeah, you don't want to come across as excessive. You just pulled your mum's brains out and then fucked her. The way he's saying about it as well. And do you know what? I've been watching this matey Bruce Rivers. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he gonna react to all the self-snitching. But he says, he'd say that these two detectives are good at what they do. Because he's like, the best detectives are the calmest. They just ask you what happened and just kind of let you go. But it seems to me like he really wants to tell people about this. It reminds me of what Jordan Peterson says of like a Hitler. Like you could put his same thing as Hitler. Because he said you'd think Hitler's goal would have been winning the war. However, when Germany started to lose, he amped up the concentration camp killing, not the military. Why would, if he wanted to win, he would have just, yeah. And so, yeah. John Peterson says the aim for him was not to win, it's to cause as much mayhem in the shortest amount of time possible. And that's what it seems like his thing was. There's no goal, there's no nothing to it. It's just create the most carnage and mayhem in the shortest space of time. I like that he said as well he wouldn't kill his sister because that's a bit excessive. It's like, really, bruv? A bit excessive. It's awfully rich.
You went in and you killed her, and you made sure that she was dead by grabbing her brain and moving it around. Then you took her clothes off, or what? Or was she already unclothed?
Actually, I had to drag her by her clothes to get her in there. It was very laborious, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She's a pretty big woman, she's heavy.
Yeah.
Hey, is she your natural mother? Biological mother?
Yeah, actually, she is my natural mother.
Mm-hmm.
I take after my father.
Okay.
Hey, what kind of thrill did you get by having sex with her?
I'd always loved my mother, I guess in the wrong sort of way, but...
Jesus, this is Norman
kind
Bates.
of love, I guess. Maybe some rage. Maybe just a little. But
Was it a Freudian style?
Freudian? I kind of get where you're coming from. Sure, why not? Yeah.
You don't.
All right.
He doesn't
Have you killed
understand
anybody
that.
else before?
I have not.
You just fantasized about it?
He doesn't understand what he's going on about. But Freud's thing is that every boy wants to grow up to have sex with his mother and kill his father. So he's kind of got it a bit mixed.
Yeah.
What got you to this point? Tell us about what got you to this point. Did you hate life? You wanted to commit suicide? Oh, what did you say about when you told her you wanted in a roundabout way to commit suicide? She said no. She said yes. What did she say to you?
She said, basically, I'm a grown man, and what I do, she can't really stop me. She was distraught over it, of course. I mean,
Of course.
yeah, she said she'd cope with it. I mean, if you kill, and that's kind of why she wanted me to go away. Why she called my sister to come pick me up, and that's kind of why I just left.
So at that point, you got pissed.
Not necessarily. I just knew it was time to act now or never.
How long have you had this thoughts in your brain?
It's around my preteens, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever seek any kind of medical attention, psychological? You feel that you can cope with that?
Nope, I never really seeked help, actually. I just accepted it as a part of me. I wasn't really ashamed of it. It just was what it was.
Let's talk about the notes that you wrote. How many notes did you write?
3.
3. There was one in the living room.
Yeah.
That one was addressed to who?
Desiree, my sister, because I knew she's a good girl, but rather sensitive. I knew she would lose her head if she kind of saw that.
Do you remember what the note said?
Keep your head. Hurry. She might still be alive, although I highly doubt it, in parentheses. Something along those lines. Yeah. Sincerely.
But when you wrote the note, you knew your mom was already dead.
Oh, yeah, I knew it. You know,
So
it was
you're
kind
just
of
messing with Desiree by writing that she might still be alive?
Yeah, my sick sense of humor.
Okay.
I was pretty well off my rocker by then.
Alright. And then there's a second note in your mom's bedroom. What did that one say? Do you remember?
Chase me.
Was that addressed to the police or to who?
I was in a very playful mood at the time.
Okay.
I just wanted to run. I just wanted to see how far I could get. But
Yeah. So what, your plan was to leave town? Or what, according to one of the notes that you wrote?
Oh, yes,
About a bus,
actually, yeah,
taking
the Greyhound bus. I was going to try to get out of the state or anything, really.
But I guess something else happened. You ended up at somebody's house?
No,
What
actually.
happened?
I told you my plan was foiled because she talked to me. She said my sister's going to come pick me up now, like in a few minutes. Go over with her, and that's when I said it's time to act, now or never.
I see.
I just went over to their house to use their phone, and then I was using their phone, so I thought I might as well tell them when they asked me questions. I mean, they had questions, I'm using their phone.
Where was this at? Where did you end up at?
Ultimately, I ended up in the backwoods of a ditch.
Here in town or out of town?
Robstown.
In Robstown. How did you get over there?
In Corpus Christi, I biked halfway, and then I got to the train tracks, and then I ditched the bike in the thick woods, and then from the train tracks, I just walked.
To Robstown?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you came up to was it like the first house that you saw, or how did you go to this house to ask to use the phone?
Initially, my plan was just to run as far as I can, but then I ended up crying my eyes out in like the thick woods, like, what did I do? And I realized, you don't know what you lost till you've already lost it. And so I knew that my life wasn't going to go anywhere, not anymore. So I just kind of gave it up midway.
But what brings you here, other than your life? Is you just give up on life now and you need to tell somebody what happened, basically, right?
I guess, yeah.
Your inside you want to do one thing, but your inside tells you more, like your heart, right? It's talking out of your heart. You know? You feel sorry you did this to your mom?
In a way, yes, but I wouldn't take back what I did. It's strange, really. I did love her. In a way.
Has she been mean to me?
Oh, no, she's been the best mother.
Okay, so she, is nothing that she did?
Oh, absolutely nothing, no.
If I was to ask you, what did she do to deserve this, what would you answer?
Absolutely nothing. I'm a terrible, I'm a
Terrible
cruel,
person.
disgusting person, yeah, basically.
How'd you come up with the idea to kill her and have sex with her?
How did I come up with it?
Yeah, was it?
It's been a developing
Just,
idea, my brain.
But you haven't gotten ideas from games or videos, or you're not into that? Some of those dark games?
Some things inspired me, but they did not necessarily plant the seed. You get me? They didn't plant the seed, but they did egg me on, rather, I guess.
Is that the books you've been reading?
Not necessarily. I watched them. I recently got into watching some foreign movies, creepy stuff, not necessarily mainstream horror, the kind of stuff that you keep away from.
Oh, okay. So are you into witchcraft? Anything like that?
No. Not right. I guess it sounds kind of, strange.
I'm just interested because it's something unusual and you're here telling us about it and you appear to be a nice guy. You appear to be a good guy. You're not yelling and screaming at us.
You seem very rational.
You're very rational. You appear to be a good guy. This is what I'm trying to figure out, that's all.
Well, this...
Honestly, you should watch Bruce Rivers, where he reacts to things like this, and yeah, he's a defense lawyer. And just how these are, like, they're so textbook, these two detectives. The way he's talking to him, saying, I'm just interested, you seem like a good guy, like, and by saying that, you're kind of building that kind of rapport with him, which will kind of lower his guard to talk like you don't. The last thing they want is for him to clam up. But he seems in his element, to be honest. Let's keep going.
How I ended her life, I'm kind of more fascinated by the more artistic ways of murder, the meticulous manner, the way they cut them open and just slice them to pieces. I mean, such care, such love, and
Where did the hammer come from that you used?
from her drawer.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after you killed her, you just left it there, the hammer?
I did.
Yes, because you saw a hammer there next to her body. That's the one you used. Okay. And there was some blood in the knife, but you said you never used it. I guess just blood, just from where you grabbed it around the.
Oh, that knife. Actually, I used that to stir her brains up a little, but then that didn't really work out, so I just kind of decided to delve on in.
Did you do that in the living room or the bedroom? Because we found that it wasn't in the bedroom.
I may have started out.
So.
Yeah, actually, I used the knife in the living room, and then didn't I take it with me?
So her brains were already kind of coming out in the living room when you dragged her?
Yes, but she was still snoring like a baby, and so I just kind of dragged her.
Explain to her how you grabbed her so that you wouldn't leave such a mess in the carpet. Did you carry her from underneath the arms and just dragged her, or how did you drag her?
It was very sloppy, actually. I kind of just winged it. I dragged her from her shirt. I dragged her by her legs. I dragged her by any way I kind of felt. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really exert physical labor too, so I'm not a very strong person.
She's bigger than you are.
Yeah.
She's a little bigger than you.
How many siblings do you have? Is it just you and Desiree?
I do have a half brother, actually, but I haven't seen him in a long while.
Does he live here in town or no?
He doesn't.
Okay. How about Dad? Where's Dad? He's not in the picture, your dad?
No, not really. He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Do you have an idea where he's at?
Probably somewhere in Fort Worth, maybe.
And you lived there with your mom at the Windrush Apartments? What's the apartment number there?
1707.
You have your own bedroom there?
I do.
Okay. So the note where you wrote the plan.
He's
that
put
you
his
were gonna
shoulder
kill
out
them
from
for your
hammering.
mom, for your sister. That was the one that we found there. We found it in one of the bedrooms. Not where your mom was, but the other one. That was your room?
Yeah, that was my room. The big, blank, floppy looking,
Okay. But your sister didn't live with you guys?
She did.
Okay.
There was a magic marker there on top of the little desk here in your room.
Magic marker?
Permanent marker.
Like a marker.
Permanent marker.
Okay, permanent marker, yes.
Is that the one you used? It was on a little like folding table. That's where you wrote your notes?
I think I just grabbed a piece of like my old schoolwork and just kind of
How do you do in schoolwork, man? Going back to school, how do you do in schoolwork?
Pretty mediocre. I never really could muster
I'm surprised by that.
to even really care.
I'm actually surprised that he didn't do well at school, and I'm not taking the piss either. I'm surprised. The way he seems, the way he's talking, he seems like that kid that didn't have friends, locked themselves away, was just a nerd, basically. I do kind of wish I never watched this now. 2 seconds, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, let's carry on with this piece of shit.
I guess I excelled in English for all that was worth.
Okay. How about sports?
No, I don't like sports.
You don't like football? I know you're a little small for football, but
Oh,
yeah.
What school did you go to?
Ray High School.
Ray? And you were in 10th grade?
Yeah.
Did you ever tell anybody else what your plans were? That, you know, what you wanted to do, your mom or your sister?
No, but over the years there were hints. As a younger boy, I was a lot dumber, a lot more angsty, you know. I said things, but I guess they basically brushed it off. I guess the hints were everywhere, but they're my family. Family looks past that kind of stuff, or they try to not look at it, I guess.
Let me ask you, at this point, what do you consider yourself? You consider yourself, I'm going to use a dirty word, okay, but I don't mean to insult you, okay? Do you consider you mentally disturbed? Do you consider yourself crazy? What do you consider yourself, any of those? Or you think you're okay? You just got some bad thoughts?
I'm not mentally disturbed.
I think the reason he's asked that, I don't know what state this is in. I can't remember what they said. He must have said it at the beginning. Was it Texas, which I think they have the death penalty? The reason he's asked that is so that the lawyer can't get him out of the death penalty. Like, it's got to be hard for these investigators to sit there. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a mum. Everyone knows that bond, especially between a mum and a son. And they've got to sit there and just listen to him say what he did with this kind of because you could watch this and think that think of just being in these guys' heads there and actually sitting across the table from him, hearing him, and I bet they want to throttle him themselves. He's definitely asked that, so they can guarantee the death penalty.
I mean, I'm sane. I know exactly what I did. I know that it's wrong in the traditional sense of wrong.
Hello.
It was just a fantasy you had, and you had to carry it out.
Yeah.
See, these are good, these detectives, because they're both laid back. It was just a fantasy. It's just something you had to carry out. It's like as if it's fine.
Not yet.
Now I feel vaguely, kind of like I'm done.
So,
You still feel like, well, you're done with your mom. You still feel like you want to keep on killing? To keep on, you know, with other fantasies? Or how do you feel?
I came here to pay for my crime, so I guess I should continue with the truth. Truthfully,
Yes, definitely.
I would kill again.
how about us? You think you want to kill us?
Oh, no, rather, men aren't my thing, actually.
Women.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone physically stronger than you. He's just a piece of shit. It's the same thing to me as someone like. I'd say 99% of men that beat their wives would never have a fight with a man because they're scared of that. And around men, they feel powerless. So the only way they can feel manly in that physical sense is over women. And it's just cowardly and it's weak. It's just weak. Like, his thing of not fantasizing of killing men isn't because he doesn't have that fantasy. It's because they'd probably overpower him and fuck him up.
Okay,
Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't. I've never had a girlfriend.
No.
I'll tell you what, give me your fantasy of killing a woman. What would your fantasy killing would be? Your ace killing, what would that be?
This is a little peculiar. I'm on camera. Okay,
I'm not surprised at what I'm going to hear, but you tell me.
maybe dressing up in a nice suit, sneaking into her house, disabling her boyfriend.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, I'd bring a pretty dress with me to dress her up in. I was always into strangling, but after that last blunder, I guess maybe something big and sharp would be more along my thing. Then I could, I don't know, probably decapitate her, as I prefer my women dead.
Okay.
I would dress her up. I'd stitch her up. Kind of try to work the head back on, perhaps. And then I'd go to town, and it would be a night to remember. And then I'd kind of just burn everything and run for the hills.
Now, you mentioned that
Yeah, but
you lost your virginity to a corpse.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? What happened?
Oh, well, just last night, my mother, yeah.
Okay, not somebody else. You're talking about your mom.
Yes.
Okay, so before that you had never had sex?
what are you thinking about?
Well, I guess since I'm being quiet about it, I might as well tell you now. And it's on the note too, the PS part. We used to have a gray cat named Claire. Oh yeah, bestiality is a thing of mine too. Now you know. And so I strangled it, I drowned it, and then I cut it open, and you know the rest. You kind of get the rest.
You had sex with a cat, with a dead cat?
Yeah, ripped it open, stuck it in there. Yeah.
You ever had sex with a live person?
No. No.
So that your thing, having sex with a live person, that doesn't turn you on. It's dead thing, dead person, dead animals. That's what turns you.
It's only because you've been rejected. That's what it is. And I'm not being funny. Every man has been, well, not every man, but 99% of men have. In fact, every man will have been rejected at some point. At some point. And I guess it's I guess that's a crucial time for men, is being young and your relationship with women and girls. That's the reason why he doesn't fantasize about a living woman. At one point he would have, until no living woman would actually give him any pussy. So that,
I don't necessarily mind. I don't have standards or morals. Body's a body, and in the end, it's a piece of meat. I guess it's harsh to say, but no, I don't necessarily mind.
How about the idea of hurting yourself? Do you have the same idea now?
Huh?
Do you have the same idea that you want to hurt yourself, commit suicide?
No, it's over for me. I'll face the music. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
There's not a happy ending for me, definitely.
Well, tell me, what do you think should happen to you? What do you think your punishment should be?
Whatever the judge, the people, the jury deems fit. I can rot, I can suffer for years, or I can be given the death penalty. Whatever
you're gonna
they
be
think.
given death penalty.
What do you think you deserve? Killing your mom.
Everything, the way they've questioned him is to give him the death penalty 100%. Asked him, is he crazy? He said, no, I'm not crazy. No, I'm not mentally disturbed. Would you kill again? Yeah, I'd kill again. Like, these questions is just to set him up for the death penalty, and good. Because really good. Do you know what I mean? Just a complete waste of oxygen.
Your mom.
I deserve to rot and suffer. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, I want to give you some options here. Okay. 10 years probation, 20 years in the pen, 100 years in the pen. What do you prefer from those cities?
Name them again.
Probation, 10 years. 10 years in the pen, 50 years, 100 years, you think?
100,
The maximum. But
I suppose. I mean,
I admire your mind, man. You don't sit here and try to baby yourself to death.
came here to face the music. I guess just gotta.
Yeah.
Right. It is what it is.
Thank you, brother, man.
Anything else you want to add about what happened that's important that we should know?
That cop there has done a number on him. He's proper made him think he's actually friends and they actually like him. Like, these detectives was so good at what they did. How they just sat there and him asking, especially him, you know full well, and little things like that. You know, I admire you. I admire you. Like, he doesn't admire him.
Not really. I'm sure interested in other colorful details.
Have you ever heard your sister?
No, I haven't.
No.
Anybody else?
Nope.
You've never killed anybody else or anything else?
Oh no. Yeah, that was my first.
You ever been on Blucher Street?
Hmm?
You ever been on Blucher Street?
Is he referring like
Blucher Street.
Blucher Street.
You know where Blucher Park is?
I haven't.
It's a large area of Karankawa, Tankawa.
It's down the street here in the uptown area. I had a woman that was killed back then. So.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, okay.
And maybe
This is your first time you're saying, right? That you killed somebody?
Yeah.
A person, not an animal?
Yes.
Do you want to know what's going to happen to you now?
Oh sure.
Okay, very simple. You're going to be booked at the county. First, you take the city facility. You charged with murder. Then you will be transferred over to the county, where, of course, you'll go to the county jail. They'll set a bond for you and everything else, and if you can afford to get out of jail, I mean, so be it. And if you can't, sit there until your trial. Okay? The trial, you can plead not guilty, and you can go to trial and let a jury decide if you're guilty or not, or you may be able to cut a deal with the district attorney for whatever time you want to cut a deal for. Okay, spare the jury, you know. In a jury, of course, a jury of 12, you might have several women or several men. The thing to remember is all those people have had mothers in the past.
Exactly what I said.
And they may not be too proud of you.
Oh, of course. I don't expect people to think very highly of me after this.
Hey, but like I said, I admire you for your honesty. You were honest with us, and you didn't try to bullshit us. Okay, and you're like a man. You came out here and took it like a man.
So, around what time was it that you did this alarm yesterday?
Probably ended around 8-ish, 9-ish.
At nighttime? Night?
Yeah, night.
Okay. And then what time did you leave the apartment and ride off on your bike?
Maybe around 9-ish, 10-ish, late night. Late 9.
And then today is when you ended up at that house in Robstown?
Yeah.
Where would your bike be at?
Probably in the undergrowth around the train tracks, just a little east of that house. But it's really deep in. No, wait, you said my bike?
Yes.
Okay, I was talking about my other stuff. But my bike is. I was going nowhere at the time. I don't even remember the street I was on. I just kind of stuffed it in the undergrowth near the railroad.
Near the railroad on 44 or what?
No, it was kind of a residential area. I remember going down a steeper hill with my bike, and I just ditched it. Wasn't worth much now. Side kind of road is a little hard, of course.
Do you know how to drive?
I don't know how to drive.
Or is that why you didn't take your mom's car?
Exactly.
I think your mom's car is still parked there now.
Did anything happen in your mom's car?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. If we were to take you, would you go show us where the bike's at and what?
Oh.
Could you do that?
I don't remember the street name, but I could help, yeah.
I'm interested in recovering your bike.
What kind of bike is it? What does it look like?
It's rad, very dirty.
Is it like a 10-speed, like or a BMX type bike, or
6-speed?
6-speed?
Yeah.
And when you left their apartments, which way did you go?
I kind of zigzagged around like an idiot because I had no idea where I was going to go. And it was a little leisurely. Because, I mean, after you murder someone, after you cross that kind of line, you don't really think much about it.
Okay, so would you say you went down Highway 44 all the way down to Robstown?
I think I did pass over.
All right, Nala.
Past thing. I don't I mean, I passed by a car dealership. I don't remember, quite frankly.
Coming in.
You mentioned the other things. When you mentioned bicycles, I thought you meant the other things. What other things are out there?
Oh, I'm just talking about my backpack and other things.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
And which is way down far the line, just a little east of the house I ended up at in Cal Allen. So it's Cal Allen and stuff.
By the railroad tracks?
Yeah, Corpus Christi bike, but it's the Cal Allen stuff, the backpack and whatnot is really stuck underneath the undergrowth, yeah.
And we probably to recover that, hoping we can find it. Would it be all right for you to take it down there once we find the railroad?
Oh, you want me to? Yeah, I can show you.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let us get through with the rest of the people we have here. And then we'll hop in the car and we'll take it down there and we'll try to recover your backpack and your bike and go from there.
Okay.
Is there anything in your backpack full of blood or anything else that we need to worry about?
I don't believe so, just some supplies I kind of just threw in there.
Yeah, you said you took a shower at the house and everything, right?
Oh, I did, yeah.
So you were covered in blood?
I was covered in blood, my glasses, everything. It was a mess.
Okay, partner, we're gonna put you in another room where we'll shut it down, and then we'll go from there. Would you care for more water or anything? It's up to you, man. I got it in the refrigerator if you want it.
I think I'm fine. I'll just finish this.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks. Well, man, you came across like a man. I mean, not like somebody else. You came across like him. You did what you did, and you came and said it. Man, I admire a man like that. I work this kind of stuff all the time, and you get a lot of time, but a lot of times people all of a sudden did something, and all they want to do is lose out of it. You want to take responsibility. You're a different person.
My life's taken a different turn. Time to change, I guess.
Why don't you come over here, sit with me, and
Your haircut, right? We did.
I would love to hear what he said when he went out that room to all his mates outside. Like, you ain't gonna believe what we just sat through.
Your sister, just to make sure that she's okay. You said you didn't hurt her, right?
I did not.
We're trying to call her on the phone. We can get her. Does she go to school?
No, she doesn't go to school currently.
Oh, okay, because we thought maybe she was at college or something. What does she work?
She works at Mesquite Bar and Grill, I believe.
That's the one in Saratoga?
I would not know, but probably.
And her name is Desiree.
Desiree Hill, yeah.
How old is she?
24.
you know her phone number?
I'm sorry, I don't know by heart now.
Okay, if I was to give you some numbers, would you tell me if it's right or not?
Oh, you have numbers?
I don't know if I have numbers or not, but I got a look. 459-1715.
Nala.
Does that sound right?
Well, where are you getting these numbers from? It kind of sounds familiar.
Oh, I'm getting the numbers from the house.
I guess you could try. It sounds vaguely familiar. You
Does
could try.
it have a 361 area code?
It does. Yeah, it has
361.
361.
So whose area code is 443? 443, whose area code is that?
I wouldn't know. It kind of rings a bell, maybe something on my mother's contacts, but I wouldn't know.
Okay. Let me go get a key for this stuff. Okay. Let me get a key for this stuff.
Okay.
Is this the number you got?
The number you have?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar, that number that you detected?
549 kind. Does it have a 361?
No, this one has the area code of 443, I think.
Yeah, it may be under her dad's name.
443 is the area code. 459.
Let me call it again.
But does she have a local number? Last time you talked to her on the phone, when was it?
Well, I have a list of contacts, so I never bother to remember numbers by memory.
Whose phone is in the floor? Is it yours?
Is it people?
Her phone on the floor in the bedroom?
Oh, that should be my bedroom.
No, hers.
I believe I left her phone in the living room. Was it pink?
Yeah.
Okay, then that is definitely hers, wherever it is.
Okay.
There you go, I thought it was familiar.
Desiree is sergeant of the coverage proceedings. Please call me at this number that I've called you on and talk to you for that. I just talk to you.
Sorry.
Where could she be at now, Parker?
Probably sleeping since last I checked she works late. And you remember that apartment I told you that's nearby here? Sort of Spanish set, you know. I forgot the name of it. You can see it yourself.
That was crazy, just how matter of fact he just said things. And when he said, like, after you kill someone, you don't think about it. Like, even hardened gangsters who've killed multiple people will tell you the first time you do it. Who is it said everyone's sick on their first time? Some gangster I was watching was saying everybody he's seen kill someone for the first time is sick when they do it. Crazy. And then to say as well, like, his mum was a good mum and all that shit. Hey, look, baby, you want to go for a walk? Only a little one though, because you had a busy day today. Don't lick my fingers. Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy. Yeah, that was one of the maddest It wasn't even an interrogation, but that's how, like, it should be handled. Like, they was just so calm, saying he had like all of that. Honestly, watch Bruce Rivers. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he gonna react to all the self snitching. Yeah, watch that channel, Bruce Rivers. Because after watching him, you see so much of policeman or detective techniques. He'll break it down. Whether it be everything's important, where they sit, how they ask, and you'll notice that they didn't. At no point did they get annoyed or anything. They just kept their cool. Although that one here with the bald head, the older guy, he definitely wanted him to pin that on. He wanted to pin that of a murder. He's obviously caught a body that he didn't solve. And he wanted to pin that on there. I think he was praying to God that boy said it, but how can you set him up with that? Or how can you pin that on him? Because he was so honest. Yeah. It wasn't even an interrogation, to be fair. It's just a confession, really. But yeah, that was crazy. And that's the other crazy thing, is that he obviously didn't care about, well, he said 100 years. Because that's what that Bruce Rivers says, is a lot of the time when they interrogate people, it's because they don't have enough evidence. Yeah. Just think of, like, you see things like this and you gotta respect detectives, because they, like, imagine the dreams you'd have of, yeah, the craziness. But yeah, sorry for that one, but that's the reactions.